If you're interested, these are some guiding design principles for making more effective videos. I got these from Blake Harvard, who's a person I follow on Twitter. There's his Twitter hashtag right there, the effortful educator. The first principle is the idea of dynamic drawing. And this is kind of what I'm doing here. All this means is that the students are going to learn better if you are actually turning and writing on a whiteboard, or if they're able to see you kind of drawing things on the screen, which is why I've transferred over to this style here. The second principle is gaze guidance, which is what I'm doing right here, where I'm directing you and pointing at the important things that are important. Staring at a camera the entire time is going to be effective, but neither is having a blank screen where you're talking over a PowerPoint. It's not as intuitive, it's not as natural. Third thing is generative activities, which is kind of what we're doing with the quick notes. Anything where you can get students selecting, organizing, or integrating the material that they're seeing on the recordings, rather than just taking notes for the sake of taking notes. It's going to be helpful in getting them to process the information, kick in their memories so that they can hopefully recall it later. Number 4 is perspective. This one works best probably for something like a math classroom, where you are working out a problem on a screen. Maybe it's a science lab experiment, somewhere where the student can see you working in a first-person experience or first-person point of view. So they can see your hands from your eyes doing whatever the experiment is. It's a little bit more tricky with something like, say, a social studies classroom where it's mostly kind of lecturing and reading, but perspective principle. Number 5 is subtitles. This is something that YouTube actually offers now, which is through the closed captioning. But adding subtitles to your recordings are going to help not only our ESOL students, but also students that are having trouble understanding or hearing. It's just a way to make the videos more inclusive. The last thing is something to avoid. Try to avoid seductive details. Seductive details are these little items that you're going to throw in that might distract the viewer from what should be the focus of the lesson, right? So if we're breaking down those chunky videos, 2-3 minutes, try not to add unnecessary graphics, unnecessary details, quick little asides that don't focus on the main theme.